Sisters, my name is Sister Ebinee Stevenson, and welcome to today's Toma Nation Sunday Warship service. That is Warship, W-A-R-S-H-I-P. For the next 30 minutes, I will be your speaker for today, and the title of my lecture is called, Is Blood Really Thicker Than Water? I'm going to start out by reciting our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that calls us all, that exists to exist. He that is self-existent, He rested He is, and He who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites as Amen-Ra and Atum, among the Hebrews as Ansah, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, and among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reference and whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the lost 13 tribe, born here in North America, and are of the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flow through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace. Hotep. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Habaragani. Alafia. Ashe. And as I like to say, what's up? All right. So there is an old saying that we use in the black community a lot. And that saying is, blood is thicker than water. Now, oftentimes, it's used in passing after a family member has maybe done something bogus and you're like angry, and then you'll have that family member, your auntie or your grandma, your mama, be like, oh, well, you know, blood is thicker than water, right? Like, sharing DNA with someone is an excuse for them to transgress against you. Sometimes the black community, black families use this saying when you meet someone outside of the family and you feel a kinship with them. Y'all become best friends. You feel like they're the family member that you never had, you know, your brother from another mother, right? And so, even though they're not related, you treat them like family. Like they're your own blood brother or blood sister. Or even sometimes your own mother or father. But it'll always be a family member that'll get jealous. They got to put them in that place to say, Now, you know blood is thicker than water, right? How you treat them better than you treat your own family member. For those of you sitting at home right now, I want you to think for a second. Do you have a family member, that one family member, or it could be more than one, that constantly rips into you and tears you down? It could be your mama, it could be your daddy, it could be a grandparent, someone who resents you because you so-called look like your daddy or look like your mama. Or they constantly tear you down, telling you all the time that you ain't nothing, you never gonna be nothing. Or that you just like your daddy, or you just like your mama, or you just like your cousin, and so on and so on. It could be a sibling that whenever you try to rise above the situation or the condition that you find yourself in, they try to shake you off your square. You can say, dang, bro, I'm trying to give up this alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be drinking no more. And that same brother will be like, yo, bro, we going out to the club, let's go get these drinks and shots on me, right? Or you got that sister who you like, man, it's been good, but I got to give her smoking weed, it is just too much. It's costing me too much. It's all these chemicals up in here. It's not really doing the things that it used to do for me anymore. So I got to give up this weed. And you turn around the next day, they like, yo, I done bought some of that special weed, from the dispensary. Blunts on me, right? You always have these family members that are constantly always trying to knock you off your square. It can even come to your finances. It doesn't have to be drug related. You could be saving money, trying to buy you a new car, trying to start a business, trying to put a down payment on the house, and you got that sale like, yo, let's go shopping. Gucci got that sale, yo, let's go get them belts, let's go get them shoes, let's go get them purses, right? A lot of us have family members like that. Now, even going further, you even have the family members who have gone beyond emotional and mental abuse and have physically or sexually abused you. And then you always have that one family member after the abuse to say, well, blood is thicker than water. As if that makes what you went through even less, right? Because it's your blood that did it to you. Or some of y'all got that cousin or that family member who always getting you caught up. Y'all done committed a couple crimes together. It probably started when you was younger, taking you to the store so y'all could steal together, jack a couple of cars, and then it escalated to violent crime. Now, that could be the situation. Or you got that family member, that sister or that cousin who likes to go out and get stupid drunk, who always getting you into situations you're not prepared for. I want you to hear me and hear me well. Black men, black women, black children, just because you share DNA with somebody, it does not make it okay for them to physically, sexually, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually abuse you at all. You see, here in the Black conscious community or the Black nationalist community, sometimes you will hear a saying. Sometimes we use it here at the Toma Nation. You've heard it in our lectures. Black men and women, ye are gods. But what does that truly mean? Now we're going to do a little role-playing exercise. I wanted to make this lecture a little bit engaging. Now, I want you to stand up wherever you are. Well, not if you're driving, but if you're inside your house, if you're inside your office, you know what I'm saying? You taking a break and you catching just a clip of this lecture. Stop what you're doing. I want you to stand up. If you got a mirror, go stand in front of the mirror. Or if you got a cell phone, turn on the camera. Put it on selfie mode. Now, I know you got a camera on your phone because we like to record all kinds of nonsense on our phone. Because you know how I know? Because it's all on my Facebook and my Instagram feed. Now, I want you to press record. Take a deep breath and strengthen your back. Be confident. And I want you to repeat after me. I am not a mistake. I am not an accident. I am beautiful and wonderfully made. The blood of God flows through my veins. I want you to look around wherever you find yourself. You can be in your own house. You can be sleeping on somebody's sofa. You can be in the car. You can be in the store. I want you to look around whatever space you are in right now and say to yourself, I was made for more than this. and feel it. How does it feel when you say to yourself, I was made for more than this? Because, repeat this, I was not made to be just a human being. I was not brought into existence to be just a human being. I was brought into existence to be a supreme being. I was born to be a God. Now, you can put your phone down, and I want you to absorb what you just said to yourself. Now, you recorded it on the camera, so you got record of it. So when you have that relative or your mama or your daddy or somebody whispering in your ear that you ain't nothing and you never gonna be nothing, that you're never gonna account for nothing, play that video to yourself. That is a love letter to yourself. And what I'm saying is not that, sometimes you go to some of these churches and they give you all these pick you ups, want to motivate you and all this other stuff. I'm not trying to motivate you. I'm trying to get you to see that you are more than your situation. You are more than what you think you are. Now, in our opening, you heard me say, I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the lost 13 tribe, born in North America, and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. The blood of all the nations of the earth flow through our veins. Do you know, or did you ever think, maybe the reason you are in the bloodline of the family that you're in, because there was something latent or hidden in that DNA that needed you to be born to bring it out. That you were born so that you can be the one to reclaim your place as an original man and woman of the planet, to break the cycle that has enslaved your bloodline for generations. Do you know that as our ancestors survived the transatlantic slave trade, that they were forced into by this devil, when they were forced into slavery, that they were forced to procreate with their own fathers, mothers, cousins, and uncles, as long as the slave master, this devil that rules this planet, thought that it would create a physically strong yet docile slave, physically strong in body, yet docile in mind. Our DNA is all over the place, because not only did we suffer that during the slavery, but everybody had a piece of us. The colonizers, from the French to the English to the Dutch, they put our DNA, our godly DNA, through the ringer. But guess what? Our DNA was put through pressure. And just like coal being turned out into diamonds, that pressure made you somebody more. That pressure gave you the capacity to be a God. What if I were to tell you that hidden in your DNA is power that will rival your favorite fictional superhero, Marvel, DC, and all that fiction such as the Matrix to shame? Do you know that you have that in you? Can you imagine that for a second? That when people tell you that you're not going to be nothing, when your family disappoints you, that you're not just your family, you're not just the people who gave birth to you, you're not just the person who donated the sperm that named you, you're more than that. God made you to be more than that. Now, if blood is truly thicker than water, does that mean that you owe kinship to anybody who you share blood with? Because if that was the case, all you Black people, who own 23andMe and Ancestry.com, when you find out, oh, there's some white people that I just found that I'm related to. Do you owe them kinship? Technically, they're your blood, right? Do you owe kinship to those crackers that you share blood name, but he died. And this song, it goes a little something like this. Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. No. You don't own kinship to someone because they share blood with you. I'm going to give you an example. I read a story. Actually, I think I watched the video. I don't remember what it was on, but it was documenting this black man. He took an ancestry test. I don't remember which one it was. It was either Ancestry.com or 23andMe, one of those. And in the ancestry test, this white man comes up as his relative. And so he goes down to see the man, have conversations with the man, and, excuse me, his story is quite interesting. Now, his mama was in jail. Now, when they put her in jail, this was extra, right? So we know that in our history that they would put men and women in the same prison, right? Now, the mama got put in jail for, she had got into it with somebody and they wound up dying. So she was defending herself, something like that. They put her in jail. While she was in jail, she got pregnant. And then they took the baby. Now, his family never really talked about it. But all along, the reason she got pregnant in jail, because the warden, who is of this cracker that he went down to meet, his blood relative, was raping her and the other female inmates in the prison, and she got pregnant. And once she gave birth, they took the baby. And so there's like this video of them, like him meeting this white boy who's like his cousin, and like he's so jovial and, you know, like, oh, I'm meeting a new family member. But what's confusing to me is, if the only reason that this man, this cracker, is related to you is because the warden of the prison took advantage of racism and raped your mama, which gave birth to you, why would you want to have anything to do with that bloodline of this white man? And so just think about that. So when I say, is blood really thicker than water? Think about that for a second. Now, we've been talking about this for a little over 15 minutes. Now, I want you to take a contemplative deep breath. Breathe in, let it out. Now, what if I tell you that what you were taught is a lie? When people say blood is thicker than water, they're quoting from a quote that is not correct. What they're saying is not correct. The full quote is actually the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Now, what is that saying? The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. They're saying that the bonds that you choose are more significant than the bonds you have with family or the so-called water of the womb. More directly, it means that the relationships you make yourself are far more important than the ones that you didn't choose. Think about, follow my Christians, think about Jesus and the disciples. Didn't Jesus treat the disciples like his family? Like they were his blood brothers? Because they were his brothers in what? In what? In the spiritual sense. They were his spiritual family, his spiritual brothers. And you have other messengers who have come to us who've had people around them helping them to complete their assignments. And that was their spiritual family. And the spiritual family was more important than the blood family because the spiritual family was the one that they chose. Now, I know that's a lot for me to drop that knowledge bomb on you. When I just threw that at you, you went like, boom, right? All you've been led to believe that blood is thicker than water, that the family that you share blood with is more important than the family that you choose. And the reason why I feel that the Creator put this on my heart to say this is because some of you are in really toxic family situations. And this means that that toxic family who always tear you down, you don't need to stay around them just because they're your blood. Hell, the way slavery did us dirty, you probably related to more people than you actually think you are. We want to talk about being related by blood. But this quote and the theme of this lecture is what I want you to think about. And I know I have about 10 minutes left, but I just want you to really think about what I said. That the family that you choose is more important than the family that you are related to by blood. That's something that you gotta let absorb into your psyche. Some of you, your mama not treating you good, your daddy not treating you good, your grandparents not treating you good. These people that's supposed to have taken care of you, to look out for you, you don't have to stay around those people because you have to put yourself in a position that you're going to be able to activate that hidden DNA that I talked about. That maybe for some of us, the reason that you have gone through that birth canal of your mother's womb and that you were made is to activate that hidden part of your DNA to help us take back what's rightfully ours on this planet Earth. Now, when we talk about chosen family versus blood family, I want you to think a little bit about, if you could start over, what would you look for in a family? Would you want people that were trustworthy, that were honest, maybe morally righteous? People who you won't feel uncomfortable leaving your children with, that you trusted, that you knew your kids could be around them and nothing would happen to them. How many of you have people in your family that you, in your blood family, that you know you can't leave your kids around because you can't trust them around your children? A lot of Black families are like that. Because we know, as a people, we have evolved to be a more European than the European. What about a family who you were at their house and you didn't have to take your purse to the bathroom with you because you know you can just leave your purse on the table and you don't have to worry about nobody stealing from you? What about, are you looking for a family that can give you spiritual guidance and breathe life back into you? How many people in your family greet you in the morning? How many people in your family say, hey, how you doing, that actually mean it, that actually care about your well-being, that actually care that you are alive, that don't treat you like a burden, but treat you like the gifts to the planet that you are? How many people have family like that, who have blood relatives like that? If you do, great. But a lot of our Black families don't. And so you really need to think about, what would you look for in a chosen family? Sometimes we need access to people who have gone through what we have gone through, who have not only experienced it, because we can open our front doors and look in the neighborhood and see people who've gone through what we've gone through. But how many of you have connections to people who have gone through what you have gone through and elevated themselves beyond the conditions that surround them? Do you have access to people like that? Do you have someone like that around you now? Do you have someone or people or a group of people that truly have your best interests at heart? A lot of you have these snake in the grass family members who every time you make a stumble along your path, every time you fall, in the inside they do a little giggle, that they're just happy to keep you in a condition that you in. As long as you are lower than them, as long as you make less money than them, them. As long as you go through all of these things that they didn't go through, that they think that they're better than you. But guess what? You are a gift. And you can uplift yourself out of the surroundings that you find yourself in if you have access to the right family that you choose. Do you need a family that will give you the working tools that you need to start reclaiming the crown you were born with and release the God energy that's stored within you? Well, look no further than Toma Nation. We are a Black conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the spiritual enlightenment of Black people in urban America. Everything that we do and everything that we are about is uplifting Black people out of the hellish conditions that we find ourselves in these United States of America. As you see, I've been hinting the difference between chosen family and blood family. So as we've gone through this 30 minutes, let me ask you, is blood really thicker than water? You should come check us out. We are located right here in Chicago in the Grand Crossing community at 616 East 71st Street. Once again, that's 616 East 71st Street, right in between King Drive and Cottage Grove. Come and join us here each and every Sunday at 12:30 so that you can be fed by God's messengers. Some of you are looking for something extra. Some of you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you need to choose a different family. You need a positive influence in your life. You're tired of the negative influences. You're tired of the family who think that the only thing that you're good for is your body. The only thing that you're good for is your pocketbook. Don't you want to choose a family that's good for you and not be tied to the ones that you just share DNA with? I wanted to read a little bit. I know I got about 4 minutes, but I wanted to read this piece around being family to those whose families have let them down. That's what we do here at Toma Nation. Choosing to see others as if they were our blood relatives. Your chosen family should treat you as if you are their blood family, because you are their chosen family in Godhood. Think about it. If you are a God, shouldn't you surround yourself with other gods? Or those who are on the path to becoming gods? Should you surround yourself as you're trying to elevate yourself with morally bankrupt people? So many of us have family members who are morally bankrupt. You will never be able to get out of your situation if you continue to rely and surround yourselves on morally bankrupt people. Spiritually bankrupt people. You need something more because you were made for something more. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I dropped a huge knowledge bomb on you today that might have made you do some reflection and think about your life and where you are and where you would like to be. Some of you, you have a voice inside of your head. It's your own voice, but it's whispering in your ear that you were made for more than this. That you look around where you are right now. You could be homeless, you could be sleeping on somebody's couch, you could be sleeping on a train at night, and you're looking around and you're looking at your phone, and you're thinking, hey, she's saying a little something that makes a little sense to me. Could it be that you were made for more than this? That you were made for more than what your parents thought you were made for? That you were made for more than what you thought you were made for? You were made for more than working at Walmart. You were made for more than just owning your businesses. You were made for more than being somebody's baby mama, somebody's baby dad. You were made for more than that. So come out and seek a family. Choose choose a family that will help elevate you beyond the conditions that you find yourself in. Now, my time is at hand. I hope that you enjoyed what I put down. It was a message that has been on my heart for the last month. If you would like more information about this, please feel free to join us here at 616 East 71st Street in the Grand Crossing community of Chicago, Illinois. Also, if you noticed during the lecture, I had this lovely 32-ounce container of alkaline water. If you currently use alkaline water, or you would like to know more about alkaline water, Nature's Divine Remedy, which is the business of Toma Nation, sells alkaline water right from our edifice at 616 East 71st Street. If you would like some more information, come join us next Sunday at 12:30. Peace and many blessings. Thank you.
Okay, so order session.